Hey guys, it's Alyssa Marie, your intuitive reader, and today we are back with another pick a card reading. Today's pick a card reading is Messages from the Vampires. I thought it would be a fun one to do since Halloween's coming up and it's spooky season. And if you're interested in what decks I use, they are down in the description box, as well as my Patreon. If you guys want to join that, there is some awesome content that is coming. We're going to have exclusive videos, giveaways, there's discounts and whatnot. And then my Instagram is down there, as well as my Etsy. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell for future content on this channel. So let's get into it. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. If you need more time, take a pause in the video. If not, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is for those of you who chose pile number 1. Let's see what the vampires have to tell you, what advice they would love to give you today. Sorry, that's just fuzzies. It looks like crumbs, but I swear I don't eat on this. It's just fuzzies. Okay, first card out is knowledge, study, learning, and education. We have death rites with saying goodbye, formal occasion, and honoring lives. We have the frog princess, heed wise counsel and listen. And then for your tarot, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And we have the Five of Swords. Okay, group number 1. So there are definitely a few messages here that I'm picking up. First message I'm getting is you guys are on a path of learning right now, whether you know it or you don't. There's a lot of information that you are absorbing. So if you're doing research on your spiritual path, or it could be your career or whatever, somehow you are absorbing a lot of information and you are in a learning mindset. Now, one of the things that the vampires want to tell you, and the frog princess over here actually, is saying to listen. So sometimes when we're learning, we get in a little over our heads and we think like we know a lot and we know everything. And this is saying just take your time, slow down, and listen to those who have come before you, who know about what you're studying about. Now, not even just because they've been through it and they're older or whatever, it doesn't mean they know everything, right? But most likely they are going to know some things that you don't know. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to those who choose to help you and to choose to want to give you advice, because they really are trying to help you. Now, this is also telling me that right now, someone might give you advice about anything, and you might just kind of throw it to the side. This is the time to not throw it to the side and to definitely take their advice and listen to it and do with it what you will, but definitely give it the thought, okay? Now we also have here, let me just move these out of the way for a second. We also have the death rites card, which is about, like it says, saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives. So this could indicate a physical, actual death that you might be dealing with, a family member. But for the majority of you, this is going to have to do with a past behavior or a toxic person, or maybe a career path, because this is a general reading, we can't get too exact. But either way, it's about saying goodbye to this thing, this person, whatever it is, and understanding that it had to happen, but now it's time to move on. Because I feel like for the majority, I feel like for a portion of you, this might have to do with a person. And for the other portion, it has to do with a thing or behavior or workplace. Now, reason I say that as well is because we do have the Knight of Wands here in reverse, and we do have the Five of Swords. So the Knight of Wands in reverse, right? The Knight of Wands upright is about going full force, passionate energy. excuse me, when it's in reverse, this is about taking a step back. And see, this also correlates here with the frog princess, with the listening. So it's about taking a step back, coming more into the earth energy and being slow about things, not rushing into things. But then I see here that you do have a little bit of mental conflict going on with the Five of Swords. So whenever we see the swords, right, we say that has to do with the mental body. So with the Five of Swords, I feel that there is some mental conflict regarding whatever it is for you. So your career, this other person, your self-behavior, and it's causing you quite some distress. But what Spirit and what the vampires are telling me to tell you is that you guys have to step out of the Knight of Wands energy and have it in reverse. So you have to basically come into the Knight of Pentacles energy, if that was up here, taking things slow, planning, listening, understanding other people's opinions. So if this does have to do with another person, such as a friend or a lover or something like that, this is really saying to, maybe you think that they're wrong and you think that you're right and it's causing you conflict in your head and you're like, should I reach out? Should they reach out? If it's something like that, know that it's your time to not reach out, to take some inaction and just wait and then listen to their point of view. So I feel that maybe this is something that you don't want to do, but it's something that you need to do. So for that portion of you about a person, listen to what they do have to say before really giving up, okay? Because I do feel that if you do come into this energy of the Knight of Wands in reverse, this Five of Swords energy will dissipate if you just simply wait, relax, listen, and then for some of you, study, as in look intensely at yourself, go inward, such as maybe like the Hermit card, and go inward and look at everything from a different angle and a different perspective before giving a final decision or before speaking to this person or to this job offer. This can be for anybody. But with this, I think it's important to say goodbye to this old way of thinking, okay? To this conflict. And the way to say goodbye to this conflict is to wait, listen, study, and then make your decision, and then go forward with whatever this is. Okay, that is what the vampires had to tell you, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Okay, this is for those of you who chose pile number two with this beautiful crystal. What do the vampires have to tell you today? What is their advice? So first off, we have ecstasy, yielding, rapture, bliss. We have hope with anticipation, bright prospects, and wish. Okay, so very positive here, guys. Very positive cards you're getting. Whoopsie, I dropped one of your cards. I'll get that in a second. We also have the Deep Dark Sea Mermaid. Find solutions in the unknown places in the darkness. Okay, that's interesting. We have the Fool in reverse. Okay, and then let me get that other card that dropped here. Oh, right. And then we have the Tower card. Okay, so very, not heavy energy, but very to the point, matter of fact. This is a very clear message I'm getting. So that's good. So first off, pile number two. Let me just get readjusted here. The vampires wish to tell you that the key to happiness right now for you, the key to hope, the key to ecstasy is to do a little bit of soul searching, is to do a little bit of shadow work and self-discovery and introspection, okay? Because a lot of what I'm hearing is a lot of the stress And a lot of the negative events that are currently happening have to do with needing to go inward, because a lot of the things are playing out because we don't have some of the things healed from the past. Because I do see here you have the Tower card. Now, the Tower card in the tarot really talks about having a very jolting, sudden event in which all of our tower really falls down and is down to the foundation of the tower. So this is very sudden. This is very shocking. So maybe you guys maybe you had a breakup with a friend, with a lover, romantic interest, lost a job, maybe with your family. Something was sudden and something was taken away and it shook your world to the core. That's what the Tower moment is. Now you have two major arcana tarot cards here. When we have major arcana cards coming up, these are soul lessons. So these are lessons that you most likely haven't really understood yet in this lifetime, or really fully understood in all of your lifetimes throughout the universe. Now, these are very important though when they come up. So instead of, if you got like a minor arcana card, it could just be, a little event. These are major events. So with the Tower, this could have to do with your entire life, as in maybe you have dealt with a lot of pain, with a lot of suffering, and your world has been shaken down to its core. But the Tower also is a positive card, because if we don't, get rid of the old tower completely and get it down to its foundation, we can't really build a new tower, pile number 2. So I feel as if, this has happened. Maybe you guys have dealt with depression or anxiety or something like that, but you are in the process of rebuilding your tower, because we do have the Ecstasy card coming out as well as the Hope card coming out, which is telling me that if you look inward, okay, and when I say look inward, this is about meditating and looking at past events. This is about writing about past events. This is about getting your feelings out in a letter you write to yourself, in a poem. And this is something that is hard and can be quite painful. But a lot of times it is necessary in order to fully feel happy and blissful, right? So I feel that you really are on the verge. The vampires are telling me that you are really on the verge of this ecstasy, of this hope, of this bliss, of a new life, in a way, of a new chapter of your life. But you have to find some of these solutions in the darkness. You have to go back inward and look up about shadow work and do some of that. Or you have to face the people that aren't healthy for you, cut them out. Or even behaviors of yourself. But I feel that there's a lot of self-healing. Now, that isn't to say that the things that have happened to you were all your fault, because they're not. Because if you dealt with abuse or something like that, that isn't all your fault. But we still have to do healing from that, okay? Now, we also have the Fool in reverse. So if you have the Fool upright, you know that this is about new beginnings. This is about just kind of, if you know the typical Fool card is a guy just all happy stepping off a cliff, but he's not noticing. It's about, the Fool normally is kind of about being naive, but it's a good energy. But you have it in reverse. So to me, that says that you guys aren't naive about this. You guys realize that this is something that has to be done. You guys realize that instead of just taking a chance and taking a leap, you're going to plan and you're going to take time, like, okay, today I'm going to take time to write. I'm going to take time to paint. I'm going to take time to meditate, whatever it is. And you're going to almost plan this out in a bit of a earth energy type perspective, plan things out in order for you to rebuild your tower that has been shaken, that has been destroyed. But With the deep dark sea mermaid coming out, this is telling me that, this is hard for you, that this is something that you kind of avoid. Like, you don't like to think about things that have happened in the past. If you're feeling upset, I feel that you guys kind of just, okay, I'm going to do something else. And a lot of times in the spiritual community, I do have to say, they do talk about love and light and thinking positively, which is good. Positively, there we go, which is good. However, if you always are thinking positively, you can't just run from problems. You have to sometimes feel the emotions of the sad ones and look back and feel it and understand what it was, why it was. And that's something that a lot of people in the spiritual community don't really talk about it. I made a video about it. You decided to incarnate in the 3D body here, and so it is totally normal to feel 3D emotions, to feel upset, to feel depressed, to feel angry. These are normal emotions. Now, we don't want to stay in these emotions. That's where we have an issue, but it is okay to feel these emotions. So if you go back inward and you're looking at a time that some guy was rude to you, your dad abused you, your mom did, whatever it is, and it brings you pain, that you probably will, and you probably will cry, and it probably will be upsetting. But it is in those times which you must heal, which you must go back and heal. And you can look up more information about that. Just look up shadow work. There's most likely meditations you can do. And you don't have to do somebody else's meditation. You can do your own, but it's something that is essential for you guys, okay? Because if you don't, this tower moment is just going to happen again, and it's going to continue to happen throughout this lifetime, and it's going to continue to happen through your other lifetimes in the future. So we must rebuild this tower this lifetime. We must not just willy-nilly, being naive, go into relationships, go into things without planning and looking at things from another angle. Otherwise, we're just going to have the same lessons over and over throughout our lives in different ways. I hope that made sense. I hope you got something from it, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Okay, so this is for those of you who chose pile number 3 with this beautiful pink stone. What are the messages from the vampires? What advice do they want to tell you today? Okay, first message out the gate. Love conquers all. Enduring loyalty, eternal love, lasting commitment. Okay. We also have resurrection with reprise, recovery, and comeback. Whoops. Okay. We also have the fairy ring with new skills, advanced training, and rapid improvements. And for your tarot, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. And we have the King of Swords. Oh, right, pile number 3. So let's get into this. So I have a few messages coming through from the vampires here. The first message that is coming through strongly, let's start with the tarot. We have the Page of Cups in reverse and the King of Swords. So I feel as if you guys have been a little in your emotions recently. You've been a little naive when it comes to love, when it comes to maybe a breakup with a friend, with a lover, something you're very emotional about. And the vampires are telling you to come into this King of Swords mentality. The King of Swords is all about owning your emotions, right? But owning the thought, being a little more analytical, okay? Because I feel like you guys are very watery right now, and you have to be a little bit more analytical about this situation in which you are in, which is going to differ for everyone. Now, we also have the Love Conquers All, and we also have the Recovery Reprise comeback card. So for a majority of you, this is actually about a breakup with a friend, a lover, somebody, and then coming back from it strong. But for others, this is also about getting back with an ex-friend, an ex-lover, somebody that has left your life, and there's a comeback from it. because you still have love for them and they still have love for you. So there's two different possibilities here. If this does not have to do with love at all, this could be self-love, okay? So there's three possibilities. This could also be about learning again to love yourself so that you are able to come into this comeback energy, this reprisal, this recovering energy, and really owning who you are, and really getting out of such this emotional naivety, I can never say that word, into the King of Swords mentality. Now we also have the fairy ring that has come up here. The fairy ring says new skills, advanced training, rapid improvement. So also the vampires want me to tell you guys that you are in a time here that if you decide to pick up a new hobby, to focus more on your spiritual path, to focus more on your career, whatever it is, you are going to have a rapid improvement in it. And the vampires, as well as the fairies, and the universe in general, is there along the way to help you. Now is the time if you want to decide, like, okay, I want to learn the piano. Okay, I want to learn to paint well. Okay, I want to go back to school. Okay, I want to go back with this person. Okay, I feel as if this person is healthy for you, keep that in mind because it's not going to resonate with everyone. And you guys know if this person is toxic, do not go back to them. However, if this is somebody from the past that you know that is wonderful for you and they're you're wonderful for them and there was like a misunderstanding or something like that, now is the time to go back because the love is there, the energy is there, and there will be rapid improvements and developments in your guys' relationship. Now, if this does have to do with career, know that, like I said, now's the time to go back to school and get the degree. Now's the time to get a job. Maybe you'll get promoted. Now's the time to get a new job in which you find yourself more happy with it. Because with the cups, you know, when we are emotional, how this is, because I feel like you guys are normally the Page of Cups. When we are emotional, it's fine to have emotions, right? But the Page of Cups to me is a little like naive energy. It's a little bit young. It's a little bit it's not like the Queen of Cups or the King of Cups, right? So it's important that there is a little sense of immaturity that you guys have been dealing with emotionally. So coming into this King of Swords energy is really going to help you with your job, with your relationships, with your self-love, in order for you to go on. Now, the reason I'm also talking about another person is because we do have two court cards here, and court cards can represent people. And the other groups didn't really have that, and I just have the sense that maybe you are the Page of Cups now in reverse, and this is you. This also could be you and another person. So in that case, you could be a water sign or have a lot of water energy, or you're just being very watery right now, and the other person could be a air sign. Could be that as well. But this also, for the majority of you, I feel like this is a transformation from this to this, but it doesn't have to be. Either way, it's really positive energy, and now is the time to act. I'm feeling that. But not just act, like, because if it was just to act, we would have fire energy. We would have wand energy, but we don't. We have sword energy. Sword is about act. It's about concise, like a sword, right? Slices through, gets to the point, concise, analytical. But a King of Swords doesn't just make a move. A King of Swords comes inward and he really looks at his possibilities and whatnot and thinks about them and plans about them and analyzes them before making a decision. So if this is about another person, if this is about a new job, a new hobby, whatever for you guys, you do want to act now, but you do want to take time to look at things analytically before acting. So when I say that, I mean like wait a little bit, plan a little bit, and then act. But don't not act either, because if you don't take advantage of these, opportunities, I feel as if they will be gone for you, and I don't want that to be the case. Now, if you guys do see, I have this feeling like, see, like 444, that means to me that the angels are with you and that they're helping with stability as well. But if you guys see 444, know that that is a time that the vampires and the angels and just your guides in general are there telling you that it's time. So the next time you see 444, that is most likely the time in which you should act upon this person, upon this opportunity, upon yourself to really move on. But look, lasting commitment. So eternal love. I feel like this will be a lasting relationship. I also do feel as if it will be a loyal relationship, but also just with yourself, right? If this is just with self-love, that's beautiful. Either way, beautiful energy, okay? So I hope you guys liked this reading, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.